going to call this meeting to order. And before we reorganize, I just have to mention that in addition to our agenda tonight, we have to review and approve a bid for new dump truck. And we'll do that under the highway report. So before we go to minutes, we have to elect a chair, vice chair, and clerk.
I would like to propose a slate of officers, and I would propose Gurudharm Khalsa as the clerk of the board, Zeke Goodman as the chair of the board, and I would be willing to serve as vice chair of the board.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion on that or other nominations? Okay. Well, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to
You.
you, see?
Congratulations, sure. Good.
Me, congratulations to me. I'm the one that doesn't have to work so hard.
Well, that wind and solid waste appointment we're going to.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so we have to then adopt rules of procedure. And generally, we try to follow Robert's rules of order. That's what we've done in the past, at least to the best of our ability.
So moved that we follow Robert's rules in our meetings.
I second that.
Okay, any discussion about that? I don't know that there are any other rules that we can follow, but all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, we set regular meeting schedule and time.
I would like to speak to this because I've spoken with some of you about how I had wanted to change the schedule to first and third or second and fourth Wednesdays in order to make it easier to plan one's schedule. But in fact, that would conflict, I guess, with the Putney schedule, which is which BCTV covers, which is on the off cycle with us. And I also have learned that it would conflict with payroll, and as such, I have yielded the point and would suggest we continue to meet every other week. What Zeke has instructed me is it's a very simple matter to just get your calendar out for the whole year and just circle every other week. And that's what I'm prepared to do if that is the decision.
Okay.
Well, I move we continue the same meeting schedule.
Okay. How about the time?
I'd love it earlier, but I don't know if the community would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would be hard pressed to make it earlier on a regular basis.
Okay. 6 o'clock?
I'll add that to my motion to
All right.
meet
Good.
every other Wednesday at 6 p.m.
I'd second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Comments from the public? That work for?
It's a great idea.
Okay. That work for our road foreman?
Sure.
Okay. Well then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have to designate an official newspaper of record. Now, that would be for our warnings, for warning committee meetings and select board meetings. I guess, but would it also include?
It's mainly for the legal notices that we have to pay for DRB hearings,
Yeah.
planning commission hearings,
Okay.
zoning hearings, etc.
So all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you saw there was a letter from the Commons, and apparently do you want to speak to this, Lori? That they're quite a bit.
They're much less expensive
Yeah.
than the reformer. For instance, a DRB hearing notice can be around $200 in the reformer, and we did an ad in the Commons and it was under $50. So it's considerable savings.
What, do you know what the circulation numbers might be in Dummerston? That'd be my only concern. If if there's not a good circulation, if we consider somebody other than the reformer. I don't know, I'm just asking.
I think the
I-
Commons circulation is growing considerably.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that we can't still send our meeting notices, which are free, to both the Reformer and the Commons,
Mm-hmm.
and they're posted on our website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'd go ahead and make a motion, we try out the Commons.
I'll second it.
Okay? Any further discussion?
Well, I'm gonna vote, I think, for the motion, but I do have a concern, and that is that, you know, I really respect the work that Mike Thayer does, and, you know, and he's here with some frequency, and the Commons is not. I guess they watch it on BCTV,
Right.
and, I mean, we all know how much trouble, you know, traditional print media and magazines are, you know, newspapers and magazines are having, and I don't want to add to their problems, but you know, there is a big cost savings with going with the Commons, and I guess it is something of a volunteer effort from a lot of folks.
Mhm. So my inclination is to give them a try and see how it goes. If you know people aren't getting the information, if we find there's a doesn't work as well or whatever, we might reconsider. But
Yeah, because we could reconsider at a later date if it
Sure.
didn't pan out, so.
yeah. So, any more discussion? Then the motion is to try out the Commons. All those in favor?
No,
Aye.
Aye. All right. The Commons is our newspaper of record now. All right. Now we can go back to our old format, and we have the minutes of February 18th.
I move we approve the minutes of February 18th.
I'd second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have warrants for payment, 18P, and from the Recreation Board, there's a little basketball expense, so.
I'll move we approve for payment warrant 18P, and rec board number 8.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let's see, we have Steve Zaluzny wanted to come and speak to us about his lease at the Renault gravel pit. And perhaps he's just running late, so we'll leave that.
Well, I told him that since you were reorganizing, that it'd be better to come closer to 6:30.
Wow, okay. Well, we'll have to slow down.
I hope we're not gone.
Sure, we're still here, but, okay, so we'll skip over that and go right into the highway report.
Okay.
And Lee Chairman? Yes.
The town highway bridge list, I don't know if you remember last year, we talked about doing the one below the Grange Hall. I still think that would be the one that would be our first one that we should do eventually. I don't think there's any hurry. I just think, I was talking to Lori maybe today, and maybe trying to get a traffic count on the road so we can get some of this information, what they're going to need in the future. They're going to need the detour around it if it does close down. A couple different things like that, so they can kind of see how important it is to us. But
That would be a really nice bridge to straighten out.
yes,
Move it a little to the right during that lane.
Yeah,
Nice bridge.
if we want to do any of that kind of work, it helps if we work on right-of-ways, so then the state doesn't have to
Yeah.
deal with that when it comes time to getting it done.
Is that something you and I could try to work with
Yeah.
that landowner ahead of time on? then?
Yeah,
That'd be
and right now, I'm not really sure how perceptive he's gonna be about it as far as, wanting to do it, but, yeah, we definitely can ask,
Yeah.
why not ask? Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'd like to do that.
Now, this is the bridge over Salmon Brook on East West Road?
Yes, right below the Grange Hall here, the, one on the sharp corner.
Sure, okay.
The problem with it, it's mostly guardrails. Guardrails and the salt's eaten away. I think it's a 1934 or 37, somewhere in there, bridge. And it hasn't been like downgraded as far as weight or anything like that. It's just a matter of they are recommending, new guardrails, new paint. And then I talked with the state engineer, and he was saying, well, time you do all that, something else is going to be bad on it. You might as well do it as a project. So
Could we put the same kind of situation in that we did on Dutton Farm, you think? Could it be a culvert and wouldn't have to be a,
it'd be different funding. I don't know if they would. Yeah. I mean, I think it's worth checking, but I think that's a $500,000 or probably project. So it's going to be pretty expensive, and that's why there's only 8 of these bridges on this list.
yeah, right.
And they, if you've been across the one in Newfane, that's one of them. Across Rock River there, for example, that's pretty bad, and I don't even know when they're going to get that done.
So you're saying a culvert like Dutton Farm Road would be more expensive than a ditch?
Less, I think. It's just a matter of I don't think they make one that big.
Oh, okay.
It's 40 feet or 50 feet across there, and the state, of course, with their new standards, is probably going to be 80 feet across there.
Okay.
Time it gets said and done.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I think that it's going to have to be some kind of a bridge. It's just a matter of if it's a precast one, what they can bring right in. And they're trying to do more of those, so it's less downtime, and they'll close the road right down, save money there.
When you said on the right, was that going
Yeah.
uphill?
As you're going east, it would want to be a little bit to the right, I would think, so it would straighten that 90-degree turn out.
Be David Baker's property.
Okay.
Matt, I have a pretty good relationship with him.
Yep.
I could at least
right.
talk to him about it.
Right.
With you
Yeah.
and I could meet with him someday when he's up and just see what his thoughts are.
There might be other issues as far as townspeople too, as far as trying to straighten it. Just
People could go faster.
right? I'm not going to say the word. Yes, but it would definitely be better.
The problem now is it's a right-hand turn at the bottom of a
Right.
steep hill, and it's really narrow.
Yes,
If you meet a
exactly.
vehicle on it.
Exactly.
It's really narrow.
It should be done right
Yeah.
if we do it.
So you're going to put that on the list and send that to Man and...
Yep. And we'll request a traffic count if it's all right.
Sure.
And and see what next steps we have to do to just make sure that it's ready to go if they ever
Right.
get the funding.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening for 10 or 12 years, but we'll be lucky.
We'd like to finish that I-91 bridge.
Right, exactly.
Right up.
Have some extra money.
Extra cement or maybe enough extra span left over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Never know.
right.
The other thing I had was the truck bid. I went over it with a couple of the body dealers just to make sure that everything is, where it should be. The truck dealer up at L&B in Westminster. Went over it with him just to make sure that it's where we should be on the truck, bidding the right thing. So I'd like to put that out to bid either tomorrow or Friday. And everyone's agreed when I've talked to them, the truck dealers and the body, that 2 weeks is plenty to get the bid in. It is a pretty basic truck as it goes. So March 18th, the bids would come in. We'd open them. And then April 1st, give it 2 weeks just to go over everything, make sure that everything is right. And April 1st, we'd award it. And we tend to do it early just so we can try to get the truck in right around the cabin chassis, right around July 1st. And then it can get to the body dealers. If you wait until July to order it, you're in the spring, they'll have the truck all winter long putting the body on it. So I'd like to try to get it kind of ahead of all the other towns.
I just don't know if April 1st is the day to be ordering a truck.
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah, well, we can order it on the 2nd, right?
Yeah.
I forgot reading it. Are you looking for an international?
No, and that is something I should go over. I was gonna put it out to bid to Freightliner, Western Star, which they are actually in the same building, same dealership. Mac. And Steve had one other one I was going to check with him.
Peterbilt. We're going to just see. I'm sure there'll be too much money, but probably. But
international. We've been having quite a few problems with them this year. As far as the newest truck's been up there for 5 or 6 weeks, up to getting worked on. The other truck just went off warranty, and it had a EGR valve, which was $3,500 go, and it's still got some kind of a whistling in there, exhaust problem. So, and honestly, I'd like to get something closer. So 2 guys going up, 2 guys coming back. I did put in towing this time to get a price on like the extended warranty for a 5-year towing. The last towing bill for the 012 truck was, I think it was $800 to get it from West Street up to the dealer.
that's going where, Lee?
Reed's, Claremont.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think it's time to try something else. And I've heard that they've changed their motors around using urea, but it's their 1st or 2nd year doing it, and I don't know if I really want to take the chance. And Putney, there's a number of towns who've gone with the Western Star, and no one's had any issues with them. So I definitely think that would be a good truck. It's just a matter of where they come in at price and in resale value on them.
Putney's had good luck with theirs, I think.
Yes.
They've been very happy with it. I think,
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve this bid to send out.
I'll move we approve the bid as Lee's presented it to send out.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then just upcoming work. We've got a little few trees on Camp Arden Road at the end. We've got permission to cut their hemlock, but the road is really narrow there, and it's right before the turnaround. David Patrickin's land. And we are gonna be going around with the wing again, getting the snow away from the roads, trying to get ready for mud season. The more snow we can get on the other side of the ditch, the better off we are. And cutouts and those kind of things.
I saw a couple mailboxes taken out on Kipling Road. Did you
Yeah,
deal with that?
yeah. I had to deal with the landowner.
Yeah, okay. That's okay?
Yeah. My mother wasn't impressed at my work.
I saw that.
Thought I'd try to save a little time and put the wing down, and I whacked off my mother's and mine. So
Oh, I know who the second one was you're talking about. I knew one. But.
yeah. So needless to say, Saturday I had to go down by her new mailbox and put it up for her.
Not a town.
No, not a town expense. Yeah.
I hope we're clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
I saw you pull one of your trucks out this morning.
Yes,
What happened
we just even in that ditch is just real wet and it's not froze up.
Mhm.
Just got over a little bit too far and sunk.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, we had one yesterday and one today. It's kind of, or Monday, I mean.
Mhm.
Monday, today.
Same driver or different drivers?
Different drivers.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
surprising where you find soft
yeah,
dirt. I mean, you would think with this cold and frost that everything would be froze, but
No, the snow is,
the snow
Insulated pretty
insulates it
good.
here and there, and yeah.
yep. I believe we're going to be ready, or as ready for mud season as we can be, but the frost is definitely coming up in the blacktop pretty good. We're getting some good frosties.
The sand pile holding out so far.
Yeah, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's nothing spectacular,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be fine. Yep. Salt, we went over a little bit, but I think we're going to be fine. And same thing, we'll see where we're at the end of the year, and hopefully we can get it filled for next year. Be ahead of for next year. But, yeah, our budget. Last time I talked to Lori's fine.
The treated salt, Lee, that you like that just because it's better on our own equipment? Is that
Yeah, and it's better for the environment
Yeah.
and the cars, traveling on our
Liz
roads.
Route 30? They
Um,
use salt and they come up over our
Right,
people
exactly.
fry it, Salt.
Yeah,
know that
I
we're-
just noticed a lot of difference in the salt truck
in
itself.
your equipment, okay.
Yeah,
Because it is quite a bit more money.
yeah, it is quite a bit more money. And originally, when the salt prices were staying about the same, when we switched to that, our budget really didn't go up any. So I think we were using a little less, but that could have been the year
Yeah,
too.
right, yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
I know, it is more money.
Yeah,
That's for
but
sure.
if you really see a difference in the equipment, then it's
Right, I think
worth
it's
considering.
going to be worth it, but in the long term, well, in the short term, but there is we are doing a little research about it's actually a liquid that you add to your salt,
Mhm.
and Wilmington is using it, and it's just a matter of buying it in small enough quantities to be able to mix
Mhm.
instead of a whole tanker load.
And that lowers the melting temperature of the salt too. right?
Also, yeah, and that has a corrosive inhibitor in it too.
Oh, no, okay.
So it's good for the equipment. It's just a matter of you have to pre-mix it yourself. So other than that, I didn't go to 6:30, but
Well, are there any other questions for me? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't get your standing ovation.
Right, yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, but I thank you and your crew for
Yep.
the good job you've done this winter.
Yeah, I think things have gone all right.
Yeah, than those mailboxes.
Yeah.
Good. So, let's see, correspondence for information. We've got a couple letters, people wanting to be on boards and planning commissions, and we'll schedule those. Usually, we can talk about this a little more, but later on in the agenda. But usually, we'll ask people who are interested in serving on these boards to come in, and we'll have a little 15-minute chat and just ask them a few questions. Let's see, other than that, I can let you know that the dog problem on Poplar Commons, I think that's under control.
Oh, okay.
I think it's okay. Haven't talked with both parties involved and didn't speak with the dog, but I haven't heard any further complaints, so I think we can rest easy on that one. There's a Wyndham Regional meeting, shared services, seeing if towns can have some savings in combining on some services. And there's a meeting, where is it? I think it's at Newbrook Fire Station, March 19th, which is the day after our next meeting, at 6 p.m. I don't know if refreshments are served, but I was thinking I'd maybe go and see what that's all about.
Do you know who's sponsoring it?
The Wyndham Regional
Oh,
Commission
okay.
is sponsoring it.
I'm hoping to go.
You're hoping to go, all right. Well, good. Okay, so we'll be well represented.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have a really good time, we'll come back and tell you all about it.
Okay.
Okay, is Steve Zaluzny here?
Yeah,
He is.
yes.
Okay. You could, don't be shy, come right in.
Hi,
Hi,
Steve.
we're ready for you.
Sit here.
Yeah.
Sure.
I should disclose before Steve starts that I do business with Lumen, so if
Okay,
somebody has an issue with that, I don't think it'll affect my
Okay.
discussion. but-
do you know everyone here?
We haven't met.
No.
Okay.
I'm Guru Dharam Khalsa.
Yeah, Steve.
Steve,
So
nice
his
to
name.
meet you.
Yeah.
And I know Steve.
Yeah. Steve way back.
I'm
Yeah.
Zeke, good day.
I think I've seen you, met you a little bit. Yeah.
I'm Joe.
Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
You know our road foreman
Yeah. Hi,
and our select board assistant back there.
Hi.
Being an eye.
How would you like to proceed? Do you want me to?
Well,
Just-
I think you're the one that wants to tell us something.
Okay,
so
yep.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Get organized here. Yeah, I guess the reason I'm here is that I had a lease agreement with the S&B owners of that pit, and that, you know, as far the way I understand it, at least that goes with the property if it were to be sold, so that still exists with the current owner of the S&B pit. Correct me if I'm wrong at any point here, or, you know, if you have any other information,
Yeah.
let me know. But
Yeah, I actually don't know if that is so, but I don't know how the town is involved. But maybe you'll
right.
let us know as we go
yeah,
along.
yeah. So just to give you history here, I have a lease agreement that was originally with S&B and filed with the town. So the S&B property was sold to Renault. And so, according to my attorney, that lease should still exist with that landowner. What the situation has been that I've not been able to operate on that property since the property was sold. And in my lease, it states that I'm to be the sole operator of the pit. So in other words, that S&B property. that hasn't been the case. You know, many people have been using that property. Renault, yourselves, the town of Putney, Basin, maybe other people. So that's kind of wrecked my business in that area, you know. I mean, and I also have material stockpiled on that property. And I've tried to work with whoever's been in there. And Renault, for example, has told me that he would allow me to operate in part of that property, but he has never given me the room to do that. You know, I'm supposed to be able to process materials there that are on that piece. And so last summer we talked about that several times to come to a resolution. It didn't happen. You know, I never was given room enough to work. They pretty much filled up that property with materials for other projects, whether it be yours or, you know, the way I understand it, you and the town of Putney are bringing in crushing equipment, crushing material, and stockpiling it on that property. Let's see. So that's created a problem for me. You know, there's some information here that was originally put together last year. I think Steve has seen this, but it involves a few documents, and this is pretty much the same thing, Steve. If you want to look at that, I can kind of go over that with you. Yeah.
Some of anything you gave me, we did discuss at one
Okay.
point. I don't know that Guderon was involved.
No.
Yeah.
I know Joe was.
Yeah.
And Zeke.
So this is what
So they've seen some of that.
Right, yeah, so just to review that, what, you know, was brought forward at that time, but not brought public, I guess. You know, I'll read through some of it here. You know, Zaluzny has an agreement to purchase material from S&B Land Partnership Gravel Pit, and so forth. Agreement states that Zaluzny would be the sole operator of the pit, and that agreement is enclosed in here. We'll take a look at that also. So, and number 2, also in here, you'll see where Mike Renault was made aware of our lease agreement before he purchased the S&B pit. So there's a copy of that letter in there. I just wanted to make sure that he was aware of it before he bought that, so he was aware of it. Also, I sent a letter to Tim Severance and Dave Baxendale's attorneys and made them aware of our agreement also. And I, you know, advised Mr. Severance and Mr. Baxendale to resolve these violations before they sold the property, but they declined to do so. Talked to Renault's pit operator about a resolution, and didn't have any luck with that. Let's see. And number 5, the agreement between S&B Land. There was an agreement at one time with S&B and Renault, which gave Renault Gravel use of the S&B parcel for 5 years. Is in violation of our agreement, really, because if you're utilizing the S&B parcel, that's really what's leased to me, to Zaluzny Excavating, that is, not to me personally. You know, obviously this has hurt our business. I mean, we have thousands of yards of material stockpiled up there, and we haven't been able to process it, you know. So this was brought forward last year, and there hasn't been any resolution, so that's why I'm here, I guess. If you have any questions on what I presented there.
So it's, the term is a 1-year renewable. This should be renewed annually for the life of the pit, providing at least
Yeah.
30,000 cubic yards of material.
Yeah, what year is that one on the top of the? What?
dated July 1st, 2013.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, my question is just to bring me up to speed on what the town's interest is in this lease agreement between you and the former operator.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what their interest is, but what I'm saying is you're using property that I'm leasing, you know. I don't know how much, it's fairly simple. I mean, and my agreement predates your agreement, I believe, you know, you may want to check that.
I know Steve.
Then I've had, excuse
No,
me,
I-
just to finish, I mean, I've had two agreements with S&B. One originated in 2007, then it continues with another one, 2013. I think it was the one that you're looking at, Zeke, there now.
So a question I had before and in now, Steve, if
Yeah.
this sounds like this is a one-year renewable agreement. So your concern is that in 2013, 2014 is the issue? Because they didn't renew the lease in 2015, right? So the issue is,
Which one are you looking
well, I'm
at
looking at
now?
July 1, 2013, it's one-year renewable. So assume it got renewed on the July 1, 2013, it would be an agreement you had until 2014.
Well, the agreement, let me just get that out here.
I just make sure I'm following. These
Yeah.
are all the questions that I think we talked about before. So I'm looking at your agreement with S&B Lands, which is dated July 1, 2013.
Yeah, let me find that one just so I can,
It's like 4 pages in.
yeah.
And it says one-year renewable, so.
Yeah, but underneath that, it says to be renewed annually for the life of the pit,
Oh, I see.
providing at least
Okay.
30,000 yards of material is extracted. And that's the way it went with S&B, you know, it was a continuous lease. It was,
Okay.
we never, you know, went year to year. The 1 year renewable is if, you know, we remove that amount of material.
Okay.
And I've been blocked from doing that this past year. So, you know, that's not right either, as far as saying that I haven't fulfilled the lease. So that's another issue, separate issue, really.
So your position is that the reason Dummerston's involved is because we're in the way processing our material, so you aren't able to, is that
You're one of the reasons,
one of the, okay.
yeah.
Is that the reason, is that the reason that you're bringing Dummerston into this, or is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other reasons?
I think that's the main reason. I mean, under their agreement with, you know, actually Putney and Dummerston agreement with Renault, the lease agreement that you have in place. I'm not sure exactly how this goes here, but you're sharing costs, building a road and so forth.
But not on the SP property.
Yeah. So you had no,
SP was a separate deal.
Yeah.
Our,
so S&B, yeah,
financial cooperation with Renault was for the property south of S&B property, so we don't have any financial, other than we're buying gravel. We don't have any,
yeah.
we're not partners or.
Okay, so when that, at one point in time, you know, before, when Severance still owned the pit that Renault bought, I mean, at one point in time, there was an agreement that you wanted to get access down to that area to process material. And I don't have a copy of that or anything, but that, I guess that was between Renault and S&B. Did it not involve you at all then?
I really don't think so. I mean,
I haven't,
I
you know.
I just question, you know, it's you processed our material that first year down there.
Right.
Right.
And now,
So I remember that, and we had the discussion on price, and we got it at 350.
Right.
We wanted 375 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I remember that.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he'll
Yeah.
remember it.
But,
Is that,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
didn't
no,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
So, the year after that, just for information, were we processing on the Severance side, or were we processing on the, what would have been the Renard side?
Right, we were always paying the 6 cents towards the, Renard side,
For
or,
the
Yeah, well,
reclamation?
because we pay 6 cents a yard
Yeah.
for any gravel that we take out of there from,
I,
The Renard side.
yes.
and when it
I-
was the S&B side, we were paying the 350 a yard. It was, we were just buying gravel at that point, you were crushing.
the way I understood it is that the material that was being crushed was coming from the Renault side, you know, but it was being processed on the S&B, so to speak, side
Okay.
and stockpiled there. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
that's
what I was
kinda how
trying to get to.
yeah.
Okay.
That would have been the second year after
first year.
Steve, the first year when
First year
Steve
we
processed
crushed.
it for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, because the first year, the material was from S&B side, I think, and then there's gonna
They
be
all
some
work
type
it
of
out, yeah.
agreement to
Because of the slopes. and
pay for
everything.
that or
Yeah.
swap gravel or
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly,
you know,
Because they could reduce the slope angle when the
yeah,
gravel pit was on both sides. Yeah.
right, right.
I definitely don't think we're hindering your ability though, with the amount of gravel we have down there. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
So-
nothing,
It's the amount of material that is stored for us there
right,
is,
is no more than when Steve crushed it for us that year.
okay.
Um,
So,
You know, it's,
so it's looking to me more like this is between you and Renault.
well, your what I'm saying is, you see right here, in this agreement it says Zaluzny Excavating be the sole operator, okay? So we're talking about the former S&B parcel. I'm to be the sole operator. Nobody else is supposed to be working on that property, not the town, not Renard, not Basin, not the town of Putney, okay?
So, Renault owns that property now, right?
Right, yeah.
So,
And the lease goes with his property. Yeah.
and so, I come back to, and so he's not letting you be the sole operator.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still,
Sounds like
it
you ought to be
sounds
talking with him.
like,
Hmm.
he's the guy you should be talking to.
Yeah. I have talked to him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take this to court, but if I have to, I mean, you know, my attorney really hasn't advised me exactly what would happen, but, you know, I'm not sure who would be named in the suit, you know, whether it would be multiple people possibly. And that's nothing I want to do, you
Right.
know. I'm trying to get along with people, you know,
Yeah.
and sell material too, you know. I mean, that's why I'm there, you
Yeah.
know, just like Mike is. But,
Mhm.
so, that's the crux of it, you know. I don't know if you got any other questions specifically.
So, in,
Well, what kind of relief are you looking for the town, from the town then?
yeah,
Well, one relief would be to not be on the property.
Mhm. And that would clear the way for your operation?
do you
It
think?
It would
that
help.
Renault-
mean-
I don't think that our amount of gravel that is there, if we were to truck that away, you know, tomorrow or the next month or so, I don't think that's what's causing your problem with Renault right now. Because I don't think our amount of gravel is enough.
Well, some of it is the gravel stored. Some of it is when you process material, you have equipment there. Nobody else is supposed to be there, according to my agreement, you know, I mean,
So, of course, Renault's not here. Does he think this agreement is in effect?
I'm not sure what he thinks, really, but he hasn't. I've told you what's happened, you know,
Yeah.
that's all I can say is that I've gone to him and he has promised to make space for me to work, you know, and, you know, and he still wants to operate on the property, and I've been willing to try to do that, you know, let him do his thing and let us do our thing, but he hasn't come through with that, you know. So I've kind of given up on that. That's why I'm here, you know.
Okay. So did I get it right that you prefer we not process material or store material there?
That would help my situation. It's the way I see it.
Okay. And it would help your situation because it would give you more room? Or?
Right.
Okay.
I guess the next question that would be is, Lee, in the future, are we capable of working on what would have been the old Renault side, or are we still needing to work on what would have been the Severance side? Are we getting far enough back, I guess is what I'm saying, so that we could stay out of the way in the future? I haven't been
Yeah, it would take a lot of work.
Okay.
You know, multiple years. Because we'd have to go up over that ledge.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'd be up top with the crusher. Or it'd be very difficult.
In your opinion, is there room enough for two businesses to operate there? Or
Right
not?
now, I would say, and this is
Just your
me
opinion.
talking,
Yeah, just your
right?
opinion.
Okay.
And I believe that when you go down in where the new road is, there's quite a bit of room to the left towards the state garage where material can be processed. But is it enough for Steve?
Right.
That's his call or whatever. But I believe there's quite a bit of room, and I think they flattened out quite a bit of room in there.
Okay.
It's just that I don't believe that our little bit of material that we have down there and what we have crushed up is
Well, when you add up,
in a
yeah.
small scheme of things, put it that way. I mean, you're talking 6,800 yards compared to 30,000. So
Are you still consolidating piles?
right now, Putney and Renard's is consolidated, and ours is separate.
Yeah.
And ours is in the very far corner.
So when you add up Dummerston, Putney, Renault, Basin,
This
and
is our trouble.
but I'm saying it's my trouble, and each one adds up, So
When you say
Ideal-
in the far corner, where are we talking about?
We're talking right the northeast corner,
yeah,
right by Tim's new house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right in there. There's one pile there.
but there's not
And
enough room for me to operate now. There's some room near the tailings pile, and try to process tailings there. So then I've got material to crush that Renault has taken and moved around and made more difficult, which isn't your issue. I don't want to get into that, but and then I need a place to process that material and store it too. So it's not just like everybody here. It's a matter of room to process and also room to store. So you can't fill everything up, or there's no place to process. And that's one reason you people are on this land, because you're looking for a place to process and store, right?
easier
Yeah.
access.
Right.
And to be able to
Yeah.
use the common boundary between the properties.
Yeah,
That was the biggest thing, was to be able to use that common property line and make the most out of the material.
Utilize it, yeah. Because we were talking about what
Right.
was it, an 80-foot berm or something, and it got reduced to 30, so with the slopes and everything, there was a
Yeah.
tremendous amount of material to be
Yeah.
utilized that wouldn't have been able to be.
but Lee, you don't, well, I'm not sure why you're saying you can't process on the other side, because you could go on top, right? And,
Yes, if we dug
Yeah.
down in a ways.
Well, is
we've
there-
had wicked problems with noise. But
Yeah.
that's how we were going to have to do it originally.
Right, originally that's what I'm
That's
saying.
the original plan.
Originally, the plan was to go up on top, and you could still do that. There's, as far as I know, still a road going up there, right, over the ledge.
Not, well,
Yeah.
a very foggy road.
Right,
yes.
there's the road that goes to the
Except for, I
top.
think the commitment, noise level wise, has been that we would work from the
Yeah.
lower level, and that would create problem that we've been trying to
A
resolve.
quality of life issue.
Yes, there you go, thank you.
Right.
Obviously, if we can work below the lip with.
I understand, yeah. But the original permit was to work on top, is that correct? Or has that been modified in the Act 250 permit?
That's a good question.
Well, that was in the phases, right, but that was I don't know how we were gonna start with the crusher. Originally, when we were talking about the price of crushing being high and actually getting a different crusher in there, I was thinking about digging down up there and setting it down in. Somehow and then hauling the material up with a smaller crusher and those kind of things, but.
Digging it down in?
Yeah,
So you
to
could
try
still do that then? Yeah.
Well, just the road going in, it wouldn't be, yeah, it'd be a lot of work going forward that ledge.
Yeah, well,
I just don't understand where we
Are,
in the scheme of things, because there's no material left over there for, well, I shouldn't say no, because there's very little material left on that east side of the property. What's not on S&B's, or Hidden Acres side of the, to the south.
the Renault side.
Right, the Renault
Yeah,
side.
okay.
It's, obviously, we're digging into it now, so there's not much left. So as far as processing, unless you're doing ledge, there's not much material over there. Yeah, not much.
we've got quite a bit of material just stockpiled there, and there is other material there. There's more than you think there. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's a mute question.
Right.
You know, because I'm just talking about our lease, you know, whether it's 1 yard or, of course, we have to produce so much per year to keep the agreement in effect. But there's enough to do that for another year, but I've been not allowed to do it. So, you know, once it runs out, it would terminate. And if we were able to process our lease agreement, I believe is supposed to run out in the middle of like June or so of 2016, I believe it's on here.
Right,
Yeah,
after that, so.
Yeah, June 30th,
Negotiated.
2016. So, you know, assuming nobody would want to negotiate it, then the lease would have ended, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just too bad that they couldn't have just allowed me to do what my lease allows me to do, says that I should be able to do until that period of time, and then I would have left and whoever could do whatever they want, the owners of the property, and but that's not the way it's happened.
Okay. Any thoughts?
I think you should be speaking with Mike
Yeah. Right.
and your attorney if necessary.
Yeah. Are you willing to process on the other side of the property, so you're not,
That would be very expensive, and I would.
rather than be
defer
named in a suit if it comes to that, or?
Foreman, I would refer to our attorney to
Yeah,
answer
okay.
that question.
Yeah,
And I would hope we wouldn't be named in a suit just for processing material there. I mean, you know, it's, I don't wanna say it's between, you and, Mike, but.
well, it is
I
between myself and
think
Mike,
it's- I
but
think
also other
I think
people.
it's, you know, kind of, you know, naming everybody who has, I mean, we're doing it out of good conscience. We thought this lease that we had signed for 5 years to go over there and be able to use that property to store and crush equipment, or crush gravel and store our gravel. You know, we didn't enter in that saying, oh, well, Steve's got a lease and we're not gonna,
Let him finish.
right, exactly. All we wanted to do was to be able to process some material, stockpile it, haul it out, process some more for 5 years. So I think just naming us in a lease and saying that we're gonna be named in this, or named in the suit, I don't get it.
See, on the other hand, back when you wanted to access S&B property, I was the one who was willing to go along with that. You know, I didn't put up a fuss. Tried to work with people, you know, so everybody could get what they wanted.
Right.
But,
I think
yeah.
we tried to work with everyone
Yeah.
too, and have acted in good faith.
But
And
it hasn't worked out for me. You
Yeah.
know, nobody cares about my lease now, you know.
Well, you clearly do, and I think I am not. It just seems like it's Renault. You should really be.
Yeah.
Like if it was a piece of cake to move our material, I think Lee would do it, but I guess the
Yeah,
issue.
it just feels like the issue is between you and Mike.
Yeah.
I understand that we're there too, and Putney's
Yeah.
there too, and Basins. But it just seems like you and Mike need to resolve this somehow.
No, it's not just me and Mike, you know.
Yeah.
You've been aware of this for a while now,
Yeah.
too, right?
Since summer, yeah.
Last
You and I
year.
talked about it last
And
summer,
your attorney or the town probably should have looked to see if there were any agreements with that property before you got involved, possibly. I don't know, that's, you know, but I guess my question for you, Steve, is are you willing to go out there with me and Lee and look at the option of having your town work on the top of the property?
Yeah,
Oh, I'll always go for
yeah,
rock.
yeah. I mean,
I'm not.
I would like you to talk to Mike in the interim and see if something could be worked out
Yeah.
with you guys, because
That's-
that's where the obvious rub is. But
Yeah,
I'm certainly, and probably Zeke, I shouldn't speak for you, but you may want to go too, but I'm more than happy.
yeah, anybody, yeah.
I'm happy
Sure,
to.
sure.
And I guess, and part of it is I'm not knowledgeable as far as how your permit actually reads now, your Act 250, you know, as far as, like you say, originally I think it was starting to be designed so that you would be crushing on that parcel and processing and storing. But at some point,
That's how we would
did the
have
Act
to do it.
250 get changed so you could process on the other property? I'm not clear on that. So,
Yeah, I guess I'd have to review it at this point
right,
too.
and that's part of it. We should look at that too, I think, you know.
I'm trying to think, Lee. I mean, I know our agreement with Mike allows us to process so much. I don't know if ours, I think ours is part of his permit, if I remember right, but we should review that without,
I think it is too.
yeah,
It's all
but we should
one.
review that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm more, I mean, if,
Yeah,
certainly, we all have good intentions.
let's, I mean, can we consider it? That's all I'm asking at this point in time, you know.
I think we
Yeah.
certainly
Yeah.
consider
Yeah, I
it.
think it should be.
And we'll go from there, you know. I don't think I have anything else right now, unless you've got any questions.
More questions?
No, it's answers, we need more than questions. Yeah.
All right.
But Lee and I both would be tied up the same day if the saps run. Different day than when the saps run. Or it snows, yeah.
What do you think, probably next week sometime, or not much left of this week anyway? Maybe.
Yeah, I think at this point that'd be much better for me.
Yeah,
I think if you and Lee got a time together, I'd
Okay.
just make myself available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you give me a call.
I think if you guys get it resolved, I'm the easy fix, so,
yeah,
if you got a time,
okay,
just let me know.
thank you.
Good,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess we should make sure that Lori, you probably get us a copy of that Act 250 thing.
I already got it written down.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we'll take a walk over there.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
What time works best for you guys as far as in you want to do it in the mornings
I
first
think
thing?
so,
or-
yeah, if that's okay with you, yeah.
Sure.
So what time are you thinking?
Whenever it works for you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
as far as time work goes.
Yeah, anytime after 6:30.
Okay, so,
I'll
Yeah.
wake Zeke up if I have to.
alright. Alright.
My light's on before yours. Okay.
Let it be noted.
All right, so that's what the plan will be. Okay, we'll go take a look. All right. Any
And I'll
other?
get you a copy of the Act 250 and the DRB
Sure.
decision, because that's gonna affect it as well.
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Mhm. Any other thoughts? Ideas? If you want to come along, we would just warn it.
Yeah, if there's more than two of us, we'd have to
Yeah.
warn it. Yeah, I would like to be in on the discussion.
Okay?
Okay. Does 7 o'clock work for you in the morning?
In the next 2 weeks it would.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll get all, I just soon get it
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's probably 2 feet of snow up there.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be a lot of fun. You better send somebody down with a loader and plow the road in.
I'll bring my snowshoes.
Issues, right?
They don't help much.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, where were we? Okay, we talked about that Minden Regional meeting. We have some unfinished business. Harold Newell, our representative to Rescue, Inc., came and spoke with us last time, and he wanted us to write a letter to our state legislators, asking them to support House Bill, was it 138?
Yeah, I will move that we do that.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, any discussion? I guess someone spoke with them at the town meeting yesterday, and they might not have been aware of that yet, so.
And we're only asking them to reimburse at what the federal
At
rate
the
is.
Medi-
Yeah, Medicaid.
Medicare rate.
Federal
Medicare
rates, yeah.
rate, so, yeah, all right, so we've got a second to motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so, I'd be happy if you want to draft a letter and send it out, that we would ask them to support this bill when it comes up for a vote. If you'd like me to do that?
Yes, please do.
Yes. Please do.
Okay, and what else? Under new business, one of the first acts a new board has to do is, by state statute, is to make sure we have a tree warden. And we also have to sign the minutes, so.
Is Godfrey still? I'll move that we appoint Godfrey.
Okay. We have a second, I'll second it. Any discussion? I spoke with Lee about this, and he was pleased with the relationship, and he tries to spread tree work around with different companies, so it's works out. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Godfrey Renault, our tree warden for another year. And then we have the appointments and reappointments, and as we learned the day before town meeting, our collector of current taxes will have to do that. We usually just do it at town meeting. Authorize the select board to appoint the collector of current taxes, and we found out we can't do that. So we have to have a special town meeting to ask townspeople to choose to have its town treasurer act as the collector of current taxes. So we need 30 days to warn a special town meeting. And if we were to have it be, part of our regular meeting, the earliest we could hold it would be our April 15th meeting. So, how's that sound to you?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay?
Income tax day.
Yes,
It's appropriate.
right? So, we'll need a motion to have a special town meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay. And it will be to transact this business. I just said, shall the town choose to have its town treasurer act as the collector of current taxes? So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Now, back to, okay, so our appointments and reappointments. Usually, we post, in the past couple of years, we've posted, openings. We will usually send an email out to people who are already on a committee or commission, and ask them if they'd like to continue. And so we could do that. Oftentimes what we'll do, the select board, is we'll divide up that list and,
The second page, correct? The one starting with road foreman?
yeah,
Usually the others, we send that form out for
yeah.
them to send it back. and
Right.
everything.
Oh,
So we could do that. So we usually divide this up and we'll say, will you call so-and-so, whether this committee, and ask them what they want to do, you remember from last year?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we could go down and do that, if you want. I've already spoken with Lee Chamberlain, and he'd like to continue as the road foreman.
Okay.
Just so, I've heard of that. I've spoken with Chad Farnham, he'd like to continue on. We usually don't give Wayne Emery a choice as far as animal control. Unless someone else comes along, I'll be willing to continue as the other animal control. So, I know, let's see, Pam appoints assistants, town clerks. We would appoint the select board assistant. I understand that Lori Fischette is interested in continuing. Health officer is an appointed, but the term goes until 2016, so. The weigher of coal,
I'll check with Ruth
Oh.
unless you have already.
no, I didn't. I took care of the dinner at the Grange, but I didn't think to ask her that. Pound keepers, I'll give Mr. Ferret and Dr. Speck a call, and I'll speak to Mr. Ferret about continuing on as the inspector of wood and lumber. True Warden.
Did you say you'd already spoken with Godfrey, or no?
I
Yeah,
sort of-
ask Lori.
Yeah,
You guys just appointed him.
yeah,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, who'd like to take on the fence viewers?
I'll do those.
Okay. Wyndham Regional Commission,
I can do that.
okay.
You may want to email them.
Oh.
Yeah, Roger Turner's in New Zealand.
Oh.
Move somewhere.
Okay. All right.
I can send you their email addresses tomorrow.
That would be helpful.
Town meeting, let's see, gave us the authority to appoint a delinquent tax collector. I believe, have we checked with Pam?
She wants to continue.
Yes. So,
It's kind of like Wayne Emery, you don't give her.
yeah. The fire wardens are good until 2017. The recreation board.
I think we need to remember Cheryl here.
Oh, right, good point.
Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, well, we can just start right over and,
No,
You can go from here.
we've got plenty more.
all right. How about, unless someone has a hankering to contact the recreation board, maybe that's one that she could,
This is fine for me to do.
okay, you're gonna do the recreation board?
Sure.
Great. Michelle Charrier let us know when she was here at our last meeting that she wanted to continue. But we haven't heard from Lester Dunkley.
I can call him.
Okay, good. Emergency Management Director and the Assistant Director. We should just put those are paid positions, so I think we should just,
So should I post those?
yeah, let's post
Okay.
those.
Post those.
We'll put on the website that, you know, the.
As an open position?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we'll let them respond to that. The town service officer, Rita Ramirez.
I was gonna suggest Geraldine contact her and the social services advisory committee members.
Okay, as she can't refuse right now, let's go ahead.
Okay. And she'll get Rita both.
Yeah.
For both.
Yeah,
I can call Mark Brown.
He's already been reappointed. That has to be done early in January. So he's already been, you already
Oh,
did.
Yeah,
we did that.
Yes, we did
Right.
that.
okay. Good, another one. The cemetery committee, I'll speak with Mr. Ferret.
I'll talk with Lee.
Okay,
Lee, will you do that?
Oh, sure.
okay. So that leaves,
I can speak with Hugh.
okay, you'll speak with Hugh.
And I'll talk with Janice too.
Okay, great.
I'll get Terry if you want.
Okay. When you speak with Ruth Barton
Yep, I'll get
about
her
the
on this
wear
one too,
of
yeah.
coal.
Yeah.
Okay, Rescue Inc. representative.
Joe's already contacting him as fence viewer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll speak with him.
Okay.
Joe, what's going on?
I could, let's see, I could contact, the Vermont Community Development Program.
I think I did those last year. I think they're really looking forward to be on that again, so you should probably talk to them.
Do you,
I thought I contacted them last year, but
Maybe it was a year
oh yeah,
before.
maybe, okay.
yeah.
Do you, I remember contacting Dan Marks and Deb Titus. I don't know if Deb Titus is interested, but I can ask her.
That's a different,
Yeah, this was.
Yeah, so
Joe-
who's
Joe
doing,
for commission.
who's doing community development?
I was hoping Joe was.
Joe's.
going to.
I'll do this.
Okay. All right. When you contact Jack, you can ask him about the farmland committee.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I could ask Doug, I'll see him tomorrow.
okay.
I can ask Vern.
So who's asking Dan and Deb?
Oh, I'll go ahead and do those ones.
Okay. And somebody just volunteered for Doug?
Me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Armstrong, Vern.
Yep, I can do
Vern.
Vern.
Joe's already talking to Nelson, his fence viewer.
Yeah.
Somebody's talking to Jack too for the community development.
Yep.
So I can talk to Reed Miller and Bill Schmidt.
Okay, great. Police Advisory Board Liaison.
Better talk to him.
Maybe Steve can talk to him.
Yeah, I'd love to do it again. So.
No, Maria has asked me to go through her on these questions.
Seems like she has to do the work anyway.
I'll be giving her a call. Okay, so that, so we'll get back, we'll, see who's interested, if we have new people coming forward that are interested. And we can start making some appointments, but we could probably do some today. Because
Well, it was warned as discuss appointments and reappointments.
okay, just discuss.
That's,
Yeah.
Well, so how much vacation time does Lee have?
Right.
He's not reappointed as the road foreman. Okay,
Although I
discuss,
think last year you did Lee's and mine, the first meeting,
yeah.
but that's,
I would say, because it would be nice to have a road foreman for the next 2 weeks, and,
It does say discuss appointments and then slash reappointments, it
That's
doesn't say
true.
discuss
Okay.
reappointments.
that's
all
true.
right.
I think we could probably do
Now
that.
let's take a, if you're okay with taking a liberal view of that,
I think I am.
all right. I'm glad we have that on film. So, I'll make a motion that we reappoint Lee Chamberlain as our road foreman.
Second.
Any discussion? Any other people interested in the job?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And select board assistant. I think I would appreciate having one of those for the next 2 weeks.
So I move we appoint Lori for select board assistant.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good.
I would move that we appoint Wayne Henry and Zeke Goodman as animal control officers. I think we could get that one done.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I'll second that.
Who, select board assistant usually takes on the animal control duties if there are no standing. I think. Isn't that by
Really?
statute? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Chapter 20.
Haven't read that.
We've got two, Lori, we should be all set if we
I
just
think
get
so.
these two appointed.
Okay. Do we have a second on that?
I
Yes, we
second
did.
it.
All right, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm staying. But, let's see, so that's pretty good.
Could we do Pam's delinquent tax collector?
Oh, yes.
I
And
move
Chad
we
as constable.
appoint Pam, delinquent tax collector, and Chad first constable.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion?
You guys have a good night.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, you don't want to stick around for the weather of cold or, oh, now when he's leaving, we can. Okay, we've got a motion and a second.
Thanks.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm sorry I missed that one.
Chad Farnham as first constable
And Pam is delinquent
and
tax collector.
delinquent tax
Okay.
collector.
I made the motion, Joe seconded.
Yep, I got that.
Okay,
Thank you.
I can move that Zeke continue as health officer.
okay, actually,
No?
my term goes until,
Oh.
I think, next year.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay, I appreciate the motion.
All right, I'll withdraw my motion.
All right. Okay, so the rest we could wait on, what do you think?
Unless you wanna do mine.
Oh, well, I don't want Maria to get,
Oh, you wanted to check with her, yeah, okay, yeah, you better clear that with her, okay.
I will speak with Gerald.
okay, good. Let her know that.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Got her assignment in that section.
And if you can just let me know what people say ahead of time, so I can put that on the agenda. And then if people do say no, I can post the vacancies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
great.
great. Thank you.
Now, what about like the DRB openings and things, can we contact them and ask them if they wanna run again? Or-
I'm going to email it.
You are, okay.
Because there's that form that they're
Yeah.
supposed to fill
Post
out.
fill, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, the second page, those are the ones where we usually send out an
Okay.
email to.
And plus I posted it, that they are available in case somebody else is interested.
Right.
The Housing Advisory Commission, I don't think I should post that because they're kind of
they're sort of a mothballed committee.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
For a few years, a couple of years ago, they were an active committee, and they, I think there was maybe even a grant that they had, and they put together a housing survey for Dummerston, and a presentation to the town, and but after another year or so, they pretty much stopped meeting. There weren't any issues that they felt they needed to continue working on. So, so we've kept the committee, but it's an inactive committee. But we've appointed or reappointed the people just so, well, if we need to haul them out of the mothballs, then we've got that.
I think there are only 3 members left, and 2 of them are up for reappointment this year, so.
Well, let's see if they would like to continue on in, all right. So then, if we get other people interested, we'll set up interviews
And Joe, will you check, when you speak with Geraldine, will you ask her about the Energy Committee, because her term was up?
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Great. Okay. Anything more about appointments or reappointments? Okay. Any other business we need to deal with tonight?
The meeting that's scheduled for here next Thursday morning, the West River Trail, Friends of the West River Trail.
Oh, okay. There is, do you want?
I'm not gonna be here.
Oh, okay. There was a letter from the West River Trails group.
To meet with the listers,
So-
the zoning administrator, and hopefully at least one
Yeah.
representative from the select board.
Yeah, and what this was going to be about, we don't know, but,
I think it's the plans for the continuation of the trail, I believe.
okay. So, it doesn't have to be warned for the listers, does
No.
it? No,
Because it's during their regular
business,
business time.
yeah, okay. A select board member going to, or 2 or 3, whatever.
What is the date and time again?
It's Thursday the 12th at, I believe it's 9 or 9:30.
And it might make sense for Geraldine to go, and then, I guess her husband is gonna be there anyway.
Could you ask her?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll plan on going unless I'm stopping
gravel
around the gravel pit. I'll go.
So that's Thursday at 9.
I believe so. She can ask Alex, since he's the one who was planning the meeting, to just verify it.
Is that something you'd like to go to?
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
I said, when Joe's talking to Geraldine, she can check with Alex, because he's the one planning
Yep.
the meeting. He's the one who
Oh.
initiated.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay. If I'm available that day, I'm not sure about next week's travel,
Okay,
but I would be interested.
okay.
Man, worst case scenario, 3 of us just throw up, you just show up, you throw a sticker on the front door that says we're having an emergency meeting about the trail. I mean, that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Or do we,
But if you know ahead of time, you can let me know
Yeah.
at least 24 hours that
Yeah.
way.
So,
It's
yeah,
better.
so if it's the 12th, if you maybe had an idea, maybe by, Monday or so? The 9th?
The 9th. Yes, I probably would know by the 9th.
Okay,
That'd be great.
yeah. and
So I'll
then-
let you, let Lori know? Okay.
Wonderful, thank you.
I don't wanna, you're invited too.
Yeah, I know, I'm thinking I might like to try to go,
Yeah.
but we got a lot of tapping left to do, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Any other business?
In the past, we've had goals, we've established goals.
Right.
And as well, we talked about the responsibility for doing the views.
Right. We should have a goals meeting, let's see, Geraldine will be joining us at our next meeting. Shall we try to have it maybe in April, early April?
Sure.
And do we usually do it as a, my memory is,
It's usually like a work session meeting more than a,
so
Right.
we
Like a budget work session.
yeah.
schedule a different day and,
Usually it's the off week.
yeah, okay. So maybe we could do that early in April, if that, might be, well, we could talk about it at the goals meeting, but, the idea of having, some of the all boards meetings and maybe breaking it up so we don't try to have everybody all at once. We could talk about that at our goals meeting. And then the views.
We've been asked to submit a views article by the end of this month.
Right. You have, I don't want to jump ahead of you, in case you wanted to write it, but,
I don't have time the next
okay.
month.
I've written the last several views
Yeah,
articles,
yeah.
and I think it might be nice if we rotate that
Yeah,
responsibility.
I was thinking, I could write, maybe not do as well as you do, but I could give it a shot
Yeah.
and, yeah, why don't I do that?
Okay.
Take it on. If any of you have any thoughts that you'd like to have part of the article or whatever, let me know. I'll run it past you before I submit it. And,
Well, I would just suggest that either then or, perhaps as part of the all-board meeting or, as part of our goals meeting, that we do something to try to stimulate more candidates for elected positions, because we had no contested elections
Right.
this last time. And it would be nice if we did have more folks interested in serving.
mhm. Right, I know Putney has a meeting before the election, plenty of time so people can be thinking about it. So maybe, yeah, this is something we can discuss at our goals meeting and flesh it out a little bit more, how we would go about doing that. Something else, what was I thinking we should do? I'll remember, maybe, we'll just have to recess the meeting while I remember it, or, I'll remember once we adjourn, but, don't think I wrote any notes.
Does anyone know when Geraldine is going to return?
I think she's coming, back tomorrow. So, what else was there? Well, I guess I'll just have to save it for the next meeting, 'cause I
Mhm.
can't
I
remember.
think so. So in that case, I'll move for adjournment.
Second that?
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.